If you had a friend or a loved one that was diagnosed with a terminal cancer and they came to you for advice, what sort of advice would you give them? The following is one part of a series of videos with the wonderful Dr. Tony Hampton. Today we're talking about cancer. If you'd like to watch the other episodes, please check the playlist in the description and be sure to follow Dr. Tony Hampton on YouTube, link in the description below. Dr. Tony Hampton. We recently lost our dear friend Jeff DeProsperous, and I just wanted to say, Dr. Hampton, you were a huge influence on Jeff. I wanted to just thank you on his behalf. He was given 3 months to live. He went on for 30 months just thriving. And I remember in particular, Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving. You put together this presentation
Oh
for
yeah,
him,
that's right.
gave him so much hope. So I wanted to talk about cancer. It's a big part of our documentary. Actually, since we spoke last, Adam and I filmed Tammy Peterson,
hmm
and she's been in remission from terminal cancer for 6 years now, doing carnivore. She attributes it to carnivore and prayer and mindset.
mm
One of the things I've learned is 1,600 people die per day from cancer.
mm.
The question I had for you is, if everyone ate a proper human diet, do you think we would see those cancer rates drop?
Yeah, I certainly believe that's true. I think cancer cells, as we've kind of shared previously, they love they love sugar. They love glucose. So if we have diets like carnivore, where we are in nutritional ketosis, we use that term, and we have the benefit of beta hydroxybutyrate and other ketones floating around in our body. They're not just a better like fuel source for the body. They do other stuff that has anti-cancer impact. One of those things is that they reduce inflammation. And if you lower chronic inflammation, you really do a very good job of making cancer less likely to progress. Cancer cells love inflammation. They thrive in that type of environment. The other thing that others like Dr. Seyfried would say is your mitochondria needs to be protected because mitochondrial dysfunction is going to be very pivotal in allowing cancer to thrive. So ketones, when you have a high ketotic environment from keto or carnivore diets, they're going to make your mitochondria function better and make them more resilient and reduce the chances that cancer cells will grow. We use the term proliferation in the medical space. The other thing that comes to mind is your immune system. Many people don't know that your immune system is important for controlling cancer. And the people who got COVID, for example, and died, about 98% of them were vitamin D deficient. Well, why is that important? Because vitamin D is good for your immune system. So if your immune system is not functioning well, then your immune system, which also helps to keep cancer in check. That's why we're constantly mutating, Carrie. And those mutations are not turning to cancer because our immune system is keeping it in check. It's like always on the guard. Okay, a cell looks crazy. Let's get rid of it. So if keto boosts your immune system. And I think the last thing I'll mention is apoptosis. That's when you have programmed cell death of bad cells that are, it's a similar concept. And they don't, so those cells will not thrive as well in a ketotic environment. They won't proliferate as well because a keto diet will give your body the ability to destroy those cells that need to be destroyed faster. So this is just scratching the surface, but those are some of the things that come to mind that I think about that make this dietary pattern the best diet for cancer. There's no question that that's true, assuming this is a metabolic disease as we've seen.
If you had a friend or a loved one that was diagnosed with a terminal cancer and they came to you for advice, what sort of advice would you give them?
I would start by saying that the idea that cancer is a genetic disease is not really up to date anymore. And so the first thing I would say to them is, it's not your fault. It's not your family's fault. There are a set of circumstances that have occurred over your lifetime that have led to some random mutation that has made it where your body developed cancer, and that's just what it is. So the first thing I would say is give yourself grace. I would also say to them, what you want to do, rather you have a terminal, if you have a terminal cancer where it's metastasized, let's create a body that makes it very difficult for cancer to thrive. And that type of body is a body that removes the fuel source for the cancer cells that exist in your body, because those cancer cells love glucose, and they use a process called glycolysis, which is a primitive fermentation metabolism process to kind of feed itself. So I would say if you starve cancer by having less glucose available, then what will happen is, even if this cancer is something that will ultimately, harm you in the long run, you'll delay it greatly. And I think that's what Jeff experienced. If you're given a few months to live, and then I think it was a lot more than he was given, right? Then, so what do you do with that extra time? How would you like to spend the next few months of your life? Dealing with the side effects of treatment, which is fine if you choose to do that, or thriving and spending time with your family and leaving value. I mean, Jeff still has a YouTube channel that people will see and people will learn from. So I just think that how we spend the balance of our lives matters. And I would want them to understand that that's a better approach. And by the way, there are some supplements. When we did that live stream, there's some supplements I mentioned, whether it's melatonin or omega-3, that are helpful, that help to put the stem cells of cancer into remission. So I just think that I would just give them the tools of success, inspire them, and say, let's make the rest of your life the best of your life. And I think that they'll be able to do that with the right information, and knowing that they don't have to just rely on outdated approaches when we have up-to-date approaches, ironically rooted in the most basic thing, which is what we put on our plate. So it's really reassuring that we can extend life, and in many cases, if people have curable cancer, we can make it less likely that those stem cells will come back and harm us that have cancer propensity. So I'm really excited about that, because people, they lose a lot of hope, and I want to restore hope.
I love that. Yeah. Jeff, his YouTube channel still going and inspiring people. I'll have a link in the description for that. I'm really excited for Jeff's channel. Was blessings on my journey. So he's tried to find a blessing in every situation. And the blessing I think about with Jeff is, sadly, a lot of people, you have a massive heart attack and you're gone.
That's right.
He was given 3 months, but he thrived for 30, like you said, with his family, and he inspired so many people. His story in our documentary is what I'm most excited to share with the world. That's such a powerful story. Quick interruption. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in learning more about our documentary, Healing Humanity, the Power of a Proper Human Diet, or supporting it, please visit donate.healinghumanity.movie. Our goal is to reach millions of people that are hopeless right now, and sharing the examples of real people over the course of 1 year that are undertaking a proper human diet to overcome obesity, type 2 diabetes, depression, anxiety, fertility issues. We couldn't do it without you. We thank you so much. We are also selling these shirts, Healing Humanity, the Power of a Proper Human Diet. Every penny we get from those goes towards the documentary. And last, we have memberships. If you click the little join button, it's best to do it on desktop. Under any one of my YouTube videos, you can join and become a member. We have hundreds of members right now. We do members only videos. We do members only behind the scenes. You can email me as a member and I'll answer you. And every penny from that goes to support the documentary. And the last thing is, we have these Redmonds portable salt shakers. These things are awesome. You can get the best salt. You can take it with you. We sell these on the website along with our water bottles and cutting boards, and every penny from all of those goes 100% towards supporting the documentary. You can also sign up for our newsletter, which is completely free. All of these links are in the description below. Thank you so much for your support.